If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio. Okay guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about being a baller on a budget, okay? It's a real fun video. You guys are going to love it. When I was ill with COVID, I did a lot of this. I just sat here just researching shit, looking at different places. And I already knew about the majority of this stuff. It's already something that I envisioned, but I never really had time to like put something together and like break down, like look at prices, look at exact locations and like weather reports for each month, which will all make sense in a minute. But this is kind of video that I think a lot of people are going to come back to when they're really struggling in life in the future. Okay, so you might be having like a really bad month or two during winter and you're like, hey, I'm going to go and check that video again because it provides me with massive optimism. But number two, it provides me with realistic hope, because women do this thing, right, called, I think it's baddie on a budget. It's like a hashtag and stuff like that. So all these women, they might be earning like $2,000 per month, but they like give the impression that they're earning 50,000 per month. Like, right, there's a lot of fakery. With kind of baller on a budget, I'm not talking about you earn 2,000 per month and you're able to make it look like you're a millionaire, okay? It's not going to happen. Like, this isn't a video for, oh, go and buy a fake Gucci and go and buy a fake Rolex and now you look like a baller. Like, look, that's not what I do at first, man. That's not what I'm trying to break down. I want you guys to be wealthy. I want you guys to do really well. But what I'm trying to achieve is changing the status quo, okay? I want to change the status quo of how men think. So modern men, we kind of like... The entirety of modern life is set up to be very boring. Okay, you live in one place. So you get a mortgage, which is boring in itself, okay? A mortgage is a glorified long-term loan. That's all it is. Like, mortgage sounds great. Long-term loan. Fuck, that sounds terrible. And you've got to get one of these, right? This is just the standard life. You don't have to. This is what I'm saying. I'm changing the status quo. But you kind of have to get one of these mortgages after acquiring a 9-to-5 job, okay, in order to pay for it. You get one of these mortgages so that you can get one property. Okay, so you've got this massive, vast world with over, I think it's like 280 countries. I might be making myself sound silly there, but I think it's roughly about that. That could be bones in the body. I can't remember. Fuck it. Doesn't matter. There's a lot of countries, okay? If you're living in one country, okay, it's not too bad. You can travel around that country, etc., but most people don't. Most people live in one single town or city in one single country. Maybe they take one holiday a year, whatever, right? But you've got this massive, vast world, and most people live in one place. That's standard, okay? That's what most people do. We buy one property in one place, tick, okay? You might like that place, all right, but you live in one place. Number one, that's massively boring. Why do we live in one place? So that it's close to work. Okay, so that's massively boring because work, number one, is shit. Nobody likes their 9-to-5 job. It doesn't matter what you do for your 9-to-5 job. You'd probably prefer to be doing something else that day. Like, most people wake up on a Monday and go, fuck, work. Even if it's a job that they love, it's not the weekend, is it? Do you know what I mean, right? It's not as fun. So you've got this job you don't like and you've got to buy a house that is close to that job in order to get to work and get back. So what you're now telling me is that that job, that 9-to-5 work, decides your entire life. Okay? So we have the next topic here, zero freedom. The average person has zero freedom. Like, I've often said that, and I'm going to get to all this stuff in a minute, I'll break it down, you guys are going to love it, okay? But I've often said that I would rather earn 50,000 per year from my own business than earn 300,000 per year working at like JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs, okay? And some people might be like, oh, you're crazy. Anybody who's saying that probably is very, very young and hasn't experienced what it's like to work at jobs you hate for years on end, quite frankly, just to pay your bills, okay? Like, I lived in London, I was on very good money, okay? It was like, to put, it was well above the national average. It was well above the average for London, okay? I could still barely get by. I say barely get by. It leaves you with like £500 to £1,000 per month, depending on what your bills are for that month, okay? Now, across the period of a year, even if it's £1,000, that leaves you with 12,000 per year. Guys, that's a pretty shit life, okay? So you're earning really good money. You're having to get up and go to this place every day, 5 days a week. You then only save 12,000 per year. I mean, what realistically can you do with 12,000 per year? Not a lot, okay? If you were free, if you had ultimate freedom and you were allowed to go wherever you wanted, then quite a bit. But what can you actually do? What can you squeeze in into those 2 days on a weekend? And then you got to actually ask your boss, can I book some time off? Can I book a week off, please, sir, so that I can go on holiday and actually live my life and actually exist outside of the workplace? No. That's right? The boss has got that option. The boss can be like, no, you can't. You got to stay here, okay, kid? You can go 2 months later. Never mind. I really want to keep my job. I'm scared to lose it. Everybody's life is so boring. And then we move on to the topic of, let's say, marriage, okay? Or at least just having one woman. The whole idea, apart from like in Saudi Arabia and places like this, the whole idea is to have one woman, okay? To couple up with one person forever, for the rest of your life, okay? So you're telling me you got to drop about... When you add up all the dates, the birthdays, you add up marriage, the engagement ring, all of this shit, right? You add all of that up, you're probably looking at like, over the period of like 5 years of dating, then getting married, honeymoon, engagement ring, all that shit, you're maybe looking at 60 to 80 grand. Okay, when you add all of that shit, well, maybe less. Let's just say 60, okay? 50 to 60 grand. So you're shelling out all that money just to secure that woman. Okay, so it's going to cost you 50, 60 grand to secure one woman. She's also a diminishing asset, okay? Now, look, love's a real thing. Of course it is. People fall in love. Relationships are beautiful. People get on for reasons past the physical. You know, you fall in love with somebody. You love them for their personality, their humor, the time that you spend with them, etc. It's beautiful, okay? Everybody loves that sort of thing. For about 3 to 4 years. Then everybody gets really, really bored. It's just fact, guys. It's just fact. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you fall in love with. Give it 3 to 4 years. It's not the same. It's not the same. You could have the most beautiful woman in the world on your arm. After 3, 4 years and having sex with her 400, 500 times, 50 fucking arguments, watching her take a shit 200 times. I'm not saying like you sat there watching her, but you know what I mean? You're in the same house, you walk past, you know, she's taking a shit at least once a day, right? You'd hope anyway. You kind of lose that interest. You see her without makeup on, you see her when she's ill, you know, you do stuff like you take the bins out together, you don't have the same interest, okay? So now you've got a woman who's a diminishing asset. She's going to be worse in the future, okay? Like I said, it's not a big problem. It's something that you expect. But the point I'm making is it's not the most fun. So in life you could get more, but the average person has one house in one location. They take one holiday per year. They have one woman for the rest of their life. Of course, people cheat, strip clubs, etc. and whatever. Like there's like so many different variants of cheating. Or like expressing yourself sexually without cheating, like I said, strip clubs and whatever. And then you've got that one job that you go to that pretty much rules your life. And then if you live somewhere like the UK, it rains like once every 3 days, okay? If you actually add it up, it's like 120 days of the year in the UK it rains. Guys, that's not... Do you know what I mean? That's not the most exciting life in the world. So when you break all that down, it's quite depressing. Like I said, I lived in London. It's fucking expensive. I love London. Absolutely love it. But it's a tough life, okay? You could earn £5,000 a month and still be struggling in London. Like some of the places in London, you can pay £1,500 per month for a box. I'm telling you, like a one bedroom, like a studio box for £1,500 per month. It's tough, okay? And then you've got bills on top of that, which is like gas, electric, water, council tax, whatever. Then you've got your own bills. I mean, you could be seeing 3,000 travel's like £136 a month. It could be more if you live further out. You're looking at about £3,000 of that five going out the door straight away. Then you got tax on top of that. You might want to pay into your pension. All in all, you might be left with like £1,000. That's what I mean. Like £1,000 to live on. Like I said for myself at the start. Well, out of that £1,000, you might want to live a little. You might actually want to buy yourself some stuff. You got to buy food for the month. Okay, it's going to be another like £300-400 gone. You got your gym membership. Now you're down to £500 for the month. Okay, you want to go out with friends every weekend. You're probably down to zero. So now how are you ever going to get out of that situation of this one house, one woman, one fucking job to go to, hate your job 5 days a week? Like, it's just boring, right? Like, everything that we do in life is just boring. And that's, like, I always want to ask the question to people, like, or kind of state it to people, like, you don't have to have kids, right? I want kids eventually when I'm closer to 40. And this is another debate. But what I'm saying is you don't even have to have kids. Like, if you go, fuck, it doesn't really excite me. I don't really, I look at the costs and I think, fuck me, that's a lot of money. That's $250,000 to raise each kid in the current climate. By the time we have them when we're older, it might be even more. It might be like $300,000 due to inflation, okay? But that's a lot of money going out the door. If you're not financially set up, is there an option to never have them? Well, yeah, there is. You don't have to have kids, okay? But we kind of live in this world where it's like, you've got to get married, got to have kids, got to have a mortgage, etc. Now, imagine most of you watching this want to have kids, as I do in the future. But here's the other debate. You don't have to have kids by 30. Like I said, I want to be 40 years old. I want to be properly set up. I want to have ticked all my own boxes. I look at somebody like Dan Bilzerian. He's 40, not even entertaining the idea of kids yet. Simon Cowell had them at like 60 or something, or like late 50s. I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but I'm just saying it's a possibility, okay? We need to start changing the status quo. Like, it's not, you don't have to live in one house in one place. Like, you could comfortably live in like a really cheap house, cost you £300 a month on rent, whatever. I know places like that in Gloucestershire where I grew up. £300 a month, little studio, right? Bit shit. You run your own business. It makes like £3,000 per month, okay? Nothing to write home about. But because your bills are so low, you're taking 12 holidays per year. Now suddenly you've got a really interesting life, okay? You've got women that you meet all around the world because you're traveling so much, you're always meeting them. You're meeting up on these trips, you're going around, you're living a laptop lifestyle. Like, there's so much that we need to change. Like, I need to get married. You don't ever need to get married. Like, let's make these sort of things clear, okay? Marriage is not a necessity. Marriage is I wouldn't even call it a bonus because I don't think it helps at all. But marriage is like just an extra thing that you can do in your life. Like opening a bank account. You can get married. You can pay for a donut. You can get married. It's like, I don't see it as like a major event. People are like, oh my God, I can't wait to get married. It's like, I never will. It's not, oh my God, you'll never get married. What's the matter with you? Why would you not do that? Wouldn't you want, it's like, guys, it sounds like hell to me. Living in one house sounds like hell to me. Having one woman for the rest of my life sounds like hell to me. I see some of these guys in like Saudi Arabia with like 6 wives, and it's just like, well, I might have gone wrong there, like 3-4 wives. They might have a limit, that's what I'm saying, an upper limit. But they've got like a ton of wives, and you're going, yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, it's not sexist, if everybody's happy, then fair enough. Like, I look at some of these like hippie communes from the 1960s, and I'm like, there were guys living there fucking like 6 girls at once. Why not? Right? Why can you not do that? It just sounds silly to have, like, Andrew Tate was on that podcast the other day, the Scottish guy's podcast, I always forget his name. And he was talking about how he used to have like 6 women living with him or 4 women living with him. And he was like sleeping with all of them. They were all like dedicated to him. They all loved him. It's like, yeah, why not? If everybody's happy, why not? Like, I've always thought, why can I not have like 3 bisexual women that all like each other and like me? And it's just like a fucking 4-person relationship. I've got 3 different women. There we go. I've got one over there who's a brunette. I've got a blonde one, and I've got a black woman. I like all 3. I like to mix it up now and again. They're all fucking lesbians with each other, and they love me too. Why not? I don't understand this. Like, I'm not saying that's like my goal, my ideal situation. I'm just saying, why is that not something that guys go, hey, why can I not strive for that? And I get it's not easy, okay? A lot of guys are out here struggling to get one woman, never mind find 3 that can love them. But if you had enough, not wealth, it's going to help, right? But if you had a good enough life setup where, like I said, right, in the UK, you barely have any money left. Let's say you live in London, you barely have any money left at the end of the month. It rains like 1 in 3 days. Like, obviously, it's not always every 3 days it rains, but when you break up the seasons and whatever, it's basically like 1 in 3 days in London, you can expect rain, okay? There's going to be some like pretty girls that are sat at their desk going, oh, fuck me. Like OnlyFans has saved a lot of them, but they're going to be, it's saturation of the market. It's not going to last forever. But there's a ton of like pretty girls that are sat in London looking out of like a raining office, like a pouring down outside raining office. It's Monday morning. She's pissed off. She doesn't get paid enough. She's getting hit on by John, Jack, Steve, Paul, fucking Roger. Like every single person is coming over and being like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, you look nice in that top. And she's just had it up to here. And then she finds your Instagram and you're earning 50,000 per year. Okay, nothing crazy. But because you've set your life up in the right way, you're traveling. You're going on like fucking 20 holidays per year. You're always somewhere cool. You're always doing something great. And this is why I promote freedom so much. And we'll get to all this shit in a minute. This sort of stuff gets my dick hard, okay? You'll see in a minute. I used to, in the MSI college days, this is why I know so much about like different areas. Like you can say to me a random city in the world and I'll know a rooftop bar in that city off by heart. Like I'll know the price of fucking pizza at that restaurant. Like it's weird because I used to research this shit all the time. It's like my thing. And it's one thing that I love is freedom. It's like I said, would you rather have 300,000 per year and be working at Goldman Sachs, but you're working 16 hours per day, and then you've got to go and entertain clients after work, then you've got to get up straight away in the morning again, come into work, look as good as possible. Oh, there's a bit of stubble there, Chris. You're going to have to shave that off. We don't accept that here. Fuck you. Do you know what I mean? I want to come in with a big grizzly beard. If I want to dye this shit blue, I'm going to dye it blue. It's bullshit, right? Like, I don't understand that pressure, like the lack of freedom. You got to dress a certain way. You've got to cut your hair a certain way. You've got to go to these 3 barbers. If you think I'm kidding, there's companies like that, like Goldman Sachs and stuff, where I don't know if they still do it anymore. You can't have tattoos. You cannot, they might have changed it, but you can't have tattoos. You cannot get your hair cut outside of these 3 barbershops. These are the 3 shops you can go to get your hair cut. Anywhere else, you know, it's in your contract, you're not allowed. Just shit like that, okay, guys? And you just think, this is bollocks. Like, you get 20 days off per year. Out of 365, they give you like 25 days to book off. Like, yeah, you get weekends, whatever, but I guarantee if you're on 300k per year, your boss is on your ass, okay? I know people that are on like 100k plus in their jobs, right? Which is, once you go above 6 figures in a 9-to-5 job, you're considered like kind of elite level. You're like, it's quite tough to do in a 9-to-5 job. Entrepreneurship's quite easy, okay? But in jobs, they're reluctant to give those kind of wages out, but the responsibility goes through the roof. Now, I know people in these sort of roles, they get calls on a fucking Sunday at 4 p.m. And the boss will be like, okay, tomorrow morning when we come in, we've got to focus on this. Can you just do this now? Can you just type up that email now? It's Sunday at 4 o'clock. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? It's Sunday at 4 fucking o'clock. Sorry, guys, I have to turn that off. But it probably won't happen again. It's Sunday at 4 o'clock, okay? Like, that would drive me nuts. Like, if I was relaxing with, like, a girl or whatever, or, like, watching TV or whatever, just having, like, a chilled Sunday, or I'm out doing something and the boss is like, you need to go home right now, type up this email, and you're like, oh, sorry, babe, we're going to have to shoot home, you know, it's work, but the end of the day, they do pay me a lot of money, you know, it pays for all these trips. Like, that's not worth it. I would much rather earn 50k per year from my own business and just, like I said, wake up on a Monday and go, not feeling it today. Just not feeling it. I just don't want to work today. Okay, well, how much have I got in the bank? Well, I've got like 7,000 saved up. I'm just book a trip to Barcelona. Barcelona's pretty cheap. Or I'm going to book a trip to Mallorca. Like, a lot of you Americans won't know, but there's a place called Mallorca where a lot of British people go, or at least loads of Europeans go. You can pay like £250 for 1 week, okay? You get like a hotel room for the week, all inclusive, so they feed you, you can eat all the fucking shit. It's crazy, okay? It's like budget shit, but you're on like a beautiful beach and it's like 25-degree temperatures, 30-degree temperatures, which might not be boiling, but if it's like October, November, then, it's fucking scorching compared to what we have here in Britain with all the rain. 250 quid, okay? Now, anybody who works at these other companies with a 9-to-5 job, they can do the same thing too. Oh no, wait, they can't. They don't have the freedom. They can afford it. The person earning 300,000 per year at Goldman Sachs, they could go to fucking Dubai if they wanted to and drop 6 grand. They're not allowed to go. It's like footballers or sports athletes. Everyone always says, I want to be an athlete. I wish I was LeBron James. I wish I was Ronaldo. Yeah, they got real cool lives, but they're still not allowed to go anywhere. Like, they still have to... When the season's going on, you think Ronaldo's allowed to leave Turin. He might, because he's probably got a jet, right? But Ronaldo has to stay in Turin so that he can go to training, he can go to matches, whatever. He doesn't have a lot of freedom because he has an employer. Juventus pay him, okay? And until the season ends, he's not allowed to go anywhere. So when people get all excited about these athletes, I'm like, it's not that cool. It's not that cool. If you can eventually earn like a tenth of what they earn per month, you can have a 10 times better life than they do. Like, it's not all what it's cracked up to be. Like, you see like these famous presenters on TV, I really want their job. No, you don't. Because they get told, you got to be in this place at this time on this date so that you can host this show. And it's like, there's no freedom. Like, I would rather be completely anonymous, have 0 level of fame, nobody knows who I am, but I'm earning 20 grand. Let's go smaller. Let's make this really realistic. I'm earning 10 grand per month. And I'm traveling the world. I'm doing whatever I want to do. I'm waking up and booking trips. I'm taking 6 or 7 different girls out every week. I'm going for dinners every week. I'm just like, this is cool. I can do whatever I want when I want. Go to bed at fucking 3 a.m, get up at 11 the next day. Have a half day at work and just go, okay, I just wanted a break. Back to it tomorrow. Just that's so much better, guys, than being like fucking Instagram famous or something. But all these brands are like, you have to be here on this date, on this date. Like, the amount of times with this business, I could have made a lot more money than I have, but I've chose not to because like a brand has messaged me and been like, we'll give you 4 grand if you can do this ad, but it's got to be done by Monday. We want this to be in the video. The video has to be like this. I'm like, no. Straight away, I'm like, nah, fuck you. You already ruined it. You can kiss your 4 grand, goodbye. You can shove it up your ass. I'm not interested in it has to be this certain way. We want it done by this date. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this my business or yours? Who runs this business? Because it's me, I think. I don't want to work for you. I want to work for me, okay? Like, that's why I give pretty much all my information away for free. Because I don't want, like... A lot of people have said, do you do, like, Skype calls, like, one-to-one coaching? No, I don't, because then you're my boss. You can be like, hey, Chris, I want to book in for 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Fuck, I was going to get on a flight. Damn, I guess I can't. No, I'm not having that. Like, I'd rather give all my shit away for free and just, like, make my money another way through the supplements, the clothing, etc., the streaming platform. Yeah, it's a lot tougher. It's a lot tougher. Like, I could easily be making, like, an extra 4,000 or 5,000 per month right now off, like, ad revenue and one-to-one calls with you guys. Oh, £300 for an hour. Like, people are in some shit situations in life. They would pay it, okay? Like, you look at life coaches. They get paid, like, £300 per hour, that sort of shit. I could charge £200, £300 per hour. I could do 250, right, and do 4 calls a day. Or 200 and do 5 calls a day. I could do that. I don't want to do that. That means every day I'd just be sat at my desk waiting. Oh, what time is it? 2 o'clock. I've got an appointment. Nah, I'm not a hairdresser. I don't do appointments. Like, that's not how I make my money. I value freedom, guys, up here. Freedom is number 1. Everything else comes underneath. Okay, some people have, I want to make $1 million a year, but you've got like 2 days off a year. That's bullshit. That's not how I want to live, okay? We only get one go around this fucking journey of life. I'm not doing this bullshit, okay? So I want to break down now. I'm going to move over to the computer. I'm going to show you guys like kind of how to be like a baller on a budget, like how it's possible. Like, you see all these people that do like laptop lifestyle or 4-hour work week like Tim Ferriss, which isn't true. You can't work 4 hours a week, okay, guys? Unless you're like 30 years into the game and it just runs itself, you got loads of employees, then, possibly, yeah. But that kind of like laptop lifestyle, or at least, if I had like a base where I'm like shipping the supplements out and everything, and I'm doing what I do on a daily basis, I'm shipping the clothing out, etc. I'm on set and I film for the stream platform, and then I can be like, right, I'm going to jet off for a week. Like that's a possibility as well, okay? You don't need a laptop lifestyle. You can do it multiple different ways, but I'm going to break it down for you now and show you like how you don't actually need a lot of money to live really well. Like so many people are, I've got to live in London. I've got to earn 8 million to buy this house. And look, this isn't me saying don't be ambitious. This isn't me saying settle for less in life. I'm just saying look at life a different way, okay? Like I've told you guys before, there's a penthouse in London I want. It's about 8 million, but I believe I can get there pretty easily, okay? If I don't, it doesn't bother me too much, but I dream big too. But I'm just saying, you can really change your life for a lot less. Like there's a massive quality of life out there if you just scale things down a little bit, okay? You don't have to go over the top. You don't need a £1,000 per month iPhone. Like I would rather have shit technology, as in not like a terrible phone. I would rather have average clothes, okay, that cost me like £10 t-shirts, £20 jeans, £20 shoes, whatever. Not really have like a baller place, a place that cost me like £300 per month, but then be booking like fucking 20 holidays a year, jetting away every weekend, taking a woman away to fucking Milan or something. I'd much rather have that. Or be sat at the top of a rooftop bar, be able to like drop £100 that night and be like, that was nice, what a great date, and then come home, house isn't that great, but you're like, my quality of life is up here. Freedom and quality of life, assets, money, etc. is the next one down. One facilitates the top two, but you don't have to be like a multi-millionaire to live this crazy life. So we're going to move over here now. I'm going to break it down for you guys. I want to make it real. I want to make it actionable. I don't like these like blasé motivational videos. I like to actually go step by step and show you guys for real how you can be living that life, okay? Okay, guys, so here we are looking at this screen here. I've got about 1 million tabs open at the top. I nearly made a fucking PowerPoint, to be honest, because I just thought this is all over the place. But I know what I'm doing with this. I'm quite, like I said, knowledgeable in this area. I can just fucking flick about. But I want to show you this picture here, okay? Because this isn't like, I'm not saying everybody has to be balling on this kind of level, okay? But I just want to explain to you that this place here is worth about 3 million, okay? And it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Now, the stuff I'm going to show you is on a smaller scale, but this is 3 million, okay? Now, a house like this, if this was in, let's say, LA or Miami or something like that, you'd probably be paying like upwards of like 15 million, 20 million. If I showed you the whole house, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, it's insane. It's like 4 different levels to it with these sort of views. Yeah, it's insane what you can do in life, okay? Now look at those views, look at the pool, look at the quality of the builds. Have a guess where that is, okay? I'll give you like 10 seconds. Okay, so this is in a place called Dubrovnik in Croatia. Okay, like who thinks of this? Like whoever thinks, oh yeah, for 3 million I can get like a gigantic mansion that a billionaire would probably fucking live in for 3 million. Okay, like it's not to say everybody can earn 3 million. It's not to say everybody can get to that level, but this is the kind of like things that you need to start exploring, guys. Now, it's just don't worry too much about this picture, okay? But just worry more about like the quality of life, because you could have a house that was like, a fifth the size of this, okay? So it would end up being something like 700,000, okay? 700,000, it would be a fifth the size, fifth the price, roughly. I'm just obviously going top of the dome now. I think it's about 600,000, isn't it? So like £600,000 house, but it has a view like this. Like it's a couple streets down, but it has this view. It has its own pool. The pool's maybe half the size, but the quality of life is through the roof. And that is, to me, is so much more important than being like, oh, I live on Billionaires Row, but I'm like struggling to pay my fucking bills. I just want to make sure everybody thinks I'm wealthy. And it's like, it's just not worth it, okay, guys? Like I said, places in London, you're paying like 1,500 per month, and you're living in a box. But people do it so they can be like, oh, I live in Kensington, I live in Knightsbridge. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter if the house looks shit. You know, you're paying for a postcode. It rains 110 days, 120 days of the year. You just, you know, your quality of life is shit. You have £200 to play around with every single month, so you're basically trapped. You're only ever one paycheck away from being fucked. It doesn't excite me. And then you meet a woman, she wants to get married, now you're taking loans out to fucking facilitate that. There's not a lot of fun in modern life. Like, the way that we've built modern life isn't great. Like, if you want to see how crazy people are, most people have a front garden and a back garden, and yet nobody grows any fucking vegetables in it. Do you know how valuable vegetable, like, land was back in the day, so people could grow shit? Like, if you had a patch of land, you were a king. Whereas now people have like a back garden and a front lawn, and they spend about £500 a year on sprinklers, lawn maintenance, a gardener, flowers, etc., just so it looks good for other people. Like, that's how crazy we've got to, guys. We've got to this extent now where people are willing to drop like 500 to 1,000, 2,000, whatever per year just on lawn maintenance. You know, instead of growing vegetables in that garden and allowing that garden to actually make them money. Like, that's how crazy the world has got in this era. And sometimes it drives me nuts. But like I said, I've got to challenge the status quo. And you've got to question more in life, okay, guys? You've got to sit there sometimes and go, all my friends are getting married, but why? Let me ask why. Why are they doing it? Oh, it's because they're fucking bored. Like, they've got nothing else to strive for. And they're like, well, you know, I come home every night, I sit on the fucking sofa, I drink a beer, I watch the same TV. Like, if I got married, at least it would give me something to aim for. We should probably have some kids. That should, you know, slice things up a little. That's basically why most people are doing the shit that they're doing. But, you know, if you change the status quo and you question everything that's actually happening, very easy to be like, why am I not living in fucking Dubrovnik in a 300k house? You know, or why am I not living in Montenegro on the Bay of Kotor, one of the most beautiful places in the world? You know, it's just down the road from Dubrovnik, straight around the Dalmatian coast. You know, I'll break all this down in a minute. I've got a few of these on here. You know, and you've got your own pool, you've got like 2 fucking levels, a terrace, the weather's like 3 times better. The cost of living is like 1/10. The women are better looking. Like, there's just so many aspects that sometimes you just need to break down. Now, I'm just throwing random examples out there, guys. You might have some of your own. You know, you might live in America and you're like, yeah, I think, what's the point in living in LA when I can live in like Nashville and just occasionally drive across or fly across, whatever. Like, there's an option there. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's possibilities. But I just want to start here, okay? Look at this, guys, okay? This, for anybody who doesn't live in the UK, this kind of shit we got to deal with. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some nice places in like Hackney or Stratford. Like, the areas, obviously, people consider them slightly rougher. But for 500,000 or just shy of, you're going to get a much better place, okay? The place is going to be, it's not going to be baller, don't get me wrong. It's still only like a 2-bedroom apartment, but it's going to be a lot better than this. But like, 500,000, guys, and it's getting you this. Okay, that kitchen makes me sick. That, I mean, that's like a rabbit hutch, okay? It's just an average depressing bedroom. It's probably the best room out of the lot, but it doesn't fucking excite me. And this is the main room, but the other way around. So, okay, so what we've got here, oh, and a shitty bathroom as well. It looks pretty dead to me. It looks pretty average. And that's the other room from the other way around, so they're actually faking shots here. So we've basically got this kitchen connected to this main living room and a single bedroom for 500,000. Yay! Do you see what I'm saying, guys? It's just, sometimes it hurts my head, right? And we got another one here, okay? 650,000 Dorset House, Gloucester Place in London. You're paying for postcodes, okay? Because this is old and outdated, looks shit. Curtains look dusty, like it just looks cold. I'm not really, you know, take those radiators out and you're freezing to death. It just doesn't fucking do it for me. You know, look at this shit. Great, you know, really inspiring. Not even proper balconies. I'm pretty sure you just open those doors and you can lean on a piece of wood. Fantastic. Now this is top of the fucking chain here. Look at this. Oh my God. You want to live in luxury, guys? Here we go. You can live like this with these cloths hanging down from this dirty windowsill for 650,000. It's depressing, right? It's absolutely depressing. Now that looks like something from a horror movie. I'd be shocked if I didn't get murdered inside this house in the first week. That looks absolutely disgusting to me. And then you get this view, so you can see your terrible investment in all its glory, all at once. 650k down the drain, and a big fat dildo rammed up your ass. Like, it's just an absolute joke. Look at this shit. I mean, yeah, a little bit of space, and yeah, okay, not bad, but it's just so old and outdated. It doesn't inspire me. It's like 60 years out of fucking date. Like, look at this. You know, and that's the view you got to fucking be excited about. And that's a sunny day. Imagine when it's raining. You know, it just looks dirty. Just look at the area you're in as well. Like, it doesn't do it for me, guys. Okay, you got fucking Ladbrokes downstairs. Fantastic. You know, go and take an extra 20k out on your mortgage and go and put 20k on a fucking one of these Olympic sprinters to win next week. Like, hope that you strike it rich. Like, what the fuck is this whole setup? Look at this. It's shit, okay? It's absolute shit. But people will live in these two places, the one that I showed you before as well, for postcode purposes. You know, I have to live in London. Why? Well, because my job's in London and they pay me good money. Okay, and these places are close to my work, and also they're great postcodes and they're close to, you know, exciting things that are going on. Okay, great. But what's your quality of life like? Because this looks shit to me. This doesn't look too exciting, okay? So work is running your life. Now, alternatively, who wants to live here instead? Okay, this is Budva in Montenegro. Montenegro is right next to Dubrovnik. It's on the Dalmatian coast. I mean, you could technically sail across. You can get a ferry across to Italy. Like, the possibilities are endless, okay? You can drive to, like, Venice in, like, 10 hours. You can probably sail there in, like, 3 or 4. You know, it's not... You can get round to Monaco and Barcelona if you go round the back of... I think if you go around the back of Italy, you can get there in probably, like, 24 hours, whatever. Like, it's pretty well located. Or you can probably drive it quicker, I would say, probably around the coast. But look... 384,000 if we round that up. Okay? Now, what would you rather wake up to? Which view? Or that? Okay, it's a no-brainer, guys, okay? It was rhetorical. Everybody's waking up to this. Now, some people will say, yeah, but London's got more going on, it's got more restaurants, it's got a bit shit. Yeah, guys, I completely agree. But like I said, it rains 120 fucking days of the year. It's depressing because you're at work. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Around you, there might be restaurants, there might be shows on, there might be stuff to do. There's fucking massive shopping centre. Yeah, great, but you're at work 5 days per week and you don't have the money to be able to execute on these things. You don't have to, like, if you live in London and you're earning less than 10,000 per month, you don't really have the money to enjoy yourself. That's my rule. People might say different, but I just don't think you've got the spare money to really enjoy yourself carefree. That's what I'm saying. You haven't got the money to do it carefree and just be like, doesn't really matter what I spend. I can go out every night if I want. I can do something different every night. I can buy shit. Just like I'm cool. Okay, like things are fine. Whereas if you live in a place like this, your quality of life is a lot of the shit you're trying to do is free. Okay, you can walk down the beach and be happy. You can fucking hike up these mountains and be happy. And you know, on top of that, guys. Okay, so this is 650,000. This is 383,000. Well, if you split the difference and you use the excess, you can buy this. Okay, you can once you break down the euros to pounds, you can pretty much buy this. Okay, it's all about the same money. That plus that is roughly what you'd be paying for that. Okay, so you're living here in this place. Let's flick through, just see what it's like. You know, it's not paradise, but look at the price. 383,000 is peanuts. You can do all this up, modernize it. Much better than the other place. You know, you got your big terrace up here. You can overlook this view. I mean, it's stunning. Look at the beaches down here, all the different things that you can do. You know, the bedroom. It goes out onto here, the balcony, the terrace. There we go. Like a lovely view. You put some sofas up there, some lighting. You have friends up at night. Like, you can't do that in this place, can you guys? You certainly can't do it in that kitchen. All right, so you're up here. You got the beautiful view, and obviously we're back to normal here with what I showed you at the start. But down here in this fucking, I guess in the bay, you got this. No, I don't want to buy one. Piss off. Right, you down here, you got this in the bay, okay? It's not the best fucking yacht in the world, but it's about £420,000. That's what you've got spare if you decide to live this life. But now you've got this beautiful boat, okay? You have 5 or 6 friends on here at night, lovely, just sailing around. It's like the quality. You could sit out here, you could sunbathe, you could sunbathe on a Monday. This is the point I'm trying to make, guys, okay? You're sat inside here on a rainy Saturday watching TV, watching Netflix, going, oh, weather's shit, never mind. Here, you're waking up on a Monday to this view, and you think, well, I can't really be bothered to work today. Well, you're sat on this boat on a Monday, sailing around, okay, for the exact same price that is going to cost you. And this is why it's so important to question everything and change the status quo. Just look, like you and your friends going out, okay, little bit of food that you've taken with you, couple of drinks, couple of 3 women, 3 men, nice, real pretty girls. They want to spend a Monday on a yacht. Excellent, come with me. There's so much more that you can do in this life, guys, and so many people get caught up. You could actually live in this boat, to be honest, and it's a 10 times better life than living in those other places. It's about 1 million fucking pictures here. Okay. Let's look at the weather. Okay, so here's the average temperature around Montenegro. So the UK is cold as shit, but this is highs of 16 in March. Okay, not bad. And then you've got highs of 22 in October, November 17. Okay, so from March to November, you've got 16 degrees as your average. Okay, 19 degrees in April. Not going to get that in the UK. And this is average, okay? So the temperature's a lot higher. At the moment, if we have a look, we got 39, 39, 37, 36, 36, raining, 34, 33, 34. Okay, but 2 days or 3 days in a row, they're absolutely scorching at the moment. It's raining in the UK right now, okay, guys? And this is the point that I'm making, okay? Quality of life. You're going to have your own boat. You're going to have a beautiful house like that, and it's going to be 39 degrees compared to paying $500,000 or 650,000 to live in a glorified box with terrible architecture, just disgusting, depressing drapes, and it's going to rain 1 in 3 days. It doesn't excite me. I'd much rather go and buy a place that was 110,000 in some fucking backwoods of the UK. It's just a place in the UK where houses are cheap but it's still a good area, it's safe, it's secure, whatever. And then the remaining 500,000 you use to set yourself up with sustainable investments, put it into your business, whatever. You've got spare money, and then you're able to make enough money to, you've got that house in the UK is let's change this picture because it's depressing, right? Let's look at this. That's better. You've got that house in the UK so that you're a citizen still. You've got it so that you still get, you're a citizen of the UK, so you get the benefits of the NHS, the free healthcare, all the shit that comes with it. You get to see your friends now and again if you want to pop home and whatnot. There's always stuff to do, business to do. But then you've got so much spare money and your investments are coming in and you focused on quality of life because you don't have a £100 iPhone. You don't have a fucking £2,000 a month mortgage because you kept your bills low and you've paid your house off fully because it's only 110 grand, right? And now you're just traveling the world whenever you want. So you don't even have to buy a place here. You don't even have to buy this place. I'm just saying they're so cheap. I'm saying for the same price you can get, for the same price as this, you can have this house and this boat. Well, it is a boat, isn't it? It's not really a yacht. I know it's quite old, but fuck me, who else has a boat, right? Obviously the weather's better, whatever. Like I said, it's 39 degrees right now. That's lovely. But at the same time, you can book holidays. Okay, guys, you don't necessarily have to live in these places. Like I said, you can live in the UK, you can live in America, you can live in just some average house, but you keep your bills very low, you keep your costs low. You, have your own business or you have smart investments. And yeah, let's say you were at a job where you were making £8,000 per month, and now with your investments and whatever, you're kind of semi-retired and you only make £3,000 per month or £4,000 per month. Okay, so it's half as much. But you're now free to travel the world. You're now free to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. That's miles above being at a fucking desk all day in the rain or whatever, or even if you live in a sunny place. It's better than your boss being on your fucking ass, okay, telling you what to do. But this place here, like £550 for a week. Okay, like it's a pretty baller place. Like you have these options. Like you can ball out on a budget. Like you don't necessarily have to go and spend like 5,000 for a holiday. Like £500 for a week. Okay, and you get to be in this sort of place with this sort of view, and you're enjoying yourself. Like there's so many more options. Like there's this place here, okay? Like I was breaking it down earlier. I was going through some stuff and I was like, Dubai's really expensive in winter. Is there an alternative? Just down the road, this place, Sharjah. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's probably a at the end. But I don't really have the throat for that. The gag reflex, if you would. But you got this place, it's just down the road, okay? And it's like 24 minutes from Dubai, and it's about a third the price of Dubai, and all the food and drink is half the price of Dubai, and it looks exactly like Dubai. Now, how'd you get to Dubai? Oh, £15 via taxi. Like, there's so many ways around, like, how people live. Like, you could literally earn £4,000 per month from 2 or 3 property investments that are paying you back, or you know, a business that you've got, or even like buying and selling on fucking Amazon. Do you know what I mean? Right? And you could just fly around the world, and you can go to places like this that are a third of what you normally would pay, like a 4-star hotel. Like, I don't think anybody would be against being here. Okay, it's not like I looked at it earlier. I think it was 1,800 for a whole month to stay at this place. Now you've got your desk, okay, you can do your work from there every day if you're working off a laptop or whatever. 1,800 for the entire month. And you're living abroad. Okay, so you can still have your house in the UK or whatever that's completely paid off. And you're traveling around and you're enjoying this crazy lifestyle, like, and it doesn't cost too much. Like, it's absolutely nuts that people don't understand that you can do this sort of thing. Now, this is what it looks like, okay? It's just, honestly, it's, like I said, it's 24 minutes from Dubai. Like, 24 minutes from Dubai Central. And it looks like this. Like, it looks exactly like it. It's like being in Reading and just travelling down to London. Like, it's like a tenth of the price. It's such a better idea, okay, guys? Okay, so I broke down earlier what you could do, like, over the period of a year, like, the way that you could kind of live if you did have, like, a residual amount of money coming in every single month, or you were kind of running your own business and you weren't really breaking the bank. You were earning like 70, 80 grand a year. Okay, nothing to write home about. You're certainly not what would be considered a baller, but you can, it's not give the impression that you're a baller, although you would, but you can live a fantastic fucking life, okay? You can live a great old grand life. And I put it this way, if you basically posted every single time on Instagram or something, you know, where you were, what you were doing or whatever, and I'm not saying this is why you do it, but I'm just saying if one of you guys lived the life that I'm about to lay out for you, which doesn't actually cost a lot at all, and I saw your page on Instagram, I'd be like, this guy's a millionaire. This guy's a millionaire, hands down. Like, there's no way this guy cannot be a millionaire. But there's so much that you can do for cheap if you're just a little bit savvy, okay? And that's why I wanted to make this like baller on a budget, because everyone thinks you need to become a millionaire to have a great life. I've worked out this plan here where you probably need about 800,000 over 10 years, and you could live this entire life for 10 years, okay? 800,000 over 10 years. It's nothing, guys. And people would be like, this guy's a millionaire. He's living a millionaire lifestyle. 800,000 over 10 years. So 80 grand a year. Like, it's not beyond the realms for anybody watching this, okay? Now, I'm going to start from the beginning. Now, one thing that I found is, like, in life, like restaurants in January, okay, they go through a massive slump and they have like sales on, okay, like 50% off, 2 for 1, you know, that sort of thing. For the whole of January, you could be out having like a meal every single night of the week or every other night of the week, okay? You could have like 10, 15 meals in a month, go out, go to different restaurants, and it's going to cost you like a third of what it normally would cost. That's a small scale version of living this baller lifestyle that you want to live, okay? Like, it's there for the taking. Now, let's say, for example, you go over to Montenegro, like we said earlier. You go and live in this place that I was talking about, okay? like, let's say you might rent, okay? It might be an Airbnb, you might rent, you might buy this place, who knows, right? But it's possible you can do it. April, when the weather gets warmer, and let's say top end of the scale, you've saved up a little bit of money. Let's say you've worked on your business for like 10 years, 12 years, from like 18 to 30. Now you want to live a little. Basically my situation, okay? So I'll tell you what, let's put me into this situation to make it very easy for you guys to like really break down and comprehend, okay? Once I get to 30, I'm going to live a lot better. Let's say I buy this place, okay? Let's say I buy it just for like a nice little bonus place. Not going to cost me too much, 383,000, and I buy this boat. And I'm like, okay, cool. I can do 6-7 months at this place if I want to while the weather's warm, and it's going to be lovely. I'm going to have a grand old life, okay? I've got a yacht, I've got a house. It's going to be minimum 17 degrees, never going to be cold. You know, you're obviously going to need a coat at night, but it's like, hey, this is pretty cool here. Now, if I decide to myself, okay, I'm going to take this holiday over to Dubrovnik. I want a 1-week holiday over to Dubrovnik, okay? Well, it's like just down the road. It's like 30 minutes to my right. Like I can literally travel there straight away, okay? So let's say I drive to Dubrovnik. I pay for, a week, £500 in a place like this. I'm sat there with a beautiful woman, or 2 or 3. We're enjoying the views. We're having some meals, having some drinks, some sex, swimming in the sea, whatever. Yeah, lovely. Maybe we pop to this place here, okay? The 360 restaurant. I just know about these random places in like places like Dubrovnik and stuff like that. Let's say we go to this restaurant, we got this beautiful view, we're having the time of our life, and then I decide, do you know what, girls? Do you want to go to Venice? Okay, 3 hours, 45-minute drive away. Okay, so we drive down to Venice. Let's have a look. Okay, I know this is a weird video, guys, but it's shit like this that gets people going. Okay, it's what there needs to be more videos like this. Sorry, I just lost my bearings there. There we go, Dubrovnik. Okay, so we're in Dubrovnik. We've come from Montenegro, which is, surprisingly, Montenegro is actually, there we go. Montenegro is right next to it. It's Croatia all the way up here, and Dubrovnik's right down there. It's weird, right? It's because it was the old Yugoslavia, so everything's been split up in a strange manner. But we're here in Dubrovnik, and apparently, according to Google, it is going up to Venice here, okay? So from Dubrovnik, what a beautiful drive this would be as well, up the Dalmatian coast. I believe it's Dalmatian coast, in the Adriatic Sea. We go up to Venice, okay? So we're in Venice, we're balling, 3 hours, 45 minutes. It cost me maybe £100 on fuel. I live in that other place in Montenegro. The place in Dubrovnik didn't cost me too much, okay? Got all this freedom. There's people earning a lot more money than me. There's people balling out of control, spending millions every single year. I've probably spent, excluding the house and stuff, which would be something that you would buy in the yacht and whatever, because that's kind of your like standard living. That's going to be your home. That's going to be your home area. But like the trips and stuff, you're only looking at like £600 so far. Okay, it's very, very easy to do. Now you're in Venice, you might want to stay for the night, if it's taking you, the drive to Venice is 9 hours. It's, if you wanted to sail across, it's 3 hours, 45 minutes, okay? So we drive here, we're tired, we go to bed, spend the day in fucking Venice. That's going to cost like maybe with the, staying there for the night or 2 nights, whatever. Let's say you just do two nights. Probably going to be like another £200-300. If there's 4 of you, like £300-400, okay? Not breaking the bank either. It's a nice little trip. It's something that you don't do all the time. You wake up, you think to yourself, okay, we're going to go to Milan. Okay, so how far is that? Well, it's a 3-hour drive. Okay, £50 of fuel. So we go over to Milan. Me and 3 women, me and 1 woman. Doesn't really matter, okay? It's not really the point. So we make it to Milan. We look at the hotels there. I'm sure we could get something. Let's have a look. What we got here? We got this place here in Milan, okay? This apartment is, what have we got? £247. I think that's for 2 nights, okay? So that's over the weekend, Friday to Sunday. That's 2 people. So you probably have to pay double that. If it's just you and 1 woman, look, 4 people, 316. Like, guys, it's not, it's not breakneck prices. We're not talking balling out of control Bill Gates here. Like, there's such a great life that you can live. Is this place the best place you've ever seen? No. Of course it isn't. But, you know, you've gone over to Milan, you're there for the city, you're not there for the place that you're staying in. It's still nice, you know, but you're there for the place that you're staying in. While you're there, you're like, hey, let's go to Radio Rooftop Bar. Oh, this is Ballin, you know, let's take a couple pictures, post them out, this looks really good. You know, oh, what's the menu like? Is it expensive? Oh, here's the menu. No, it's not expensive at all. What we got here? Oh, let's have some katsu chicken. Okay, with some Parmesan cheese, salad, whatever. Oh, that's it's a bit blurry, but €16. That's about £12. Okay, oh, well, I'll buy that for 4 of us and we'll have a couple of drinks. Like, it's not expensive. Oh, let's go to this one on the second day. You know, balling around Milan, enjoying yourself. Like, it's not, you're not breaking the fucking bank, okay, guys? Like, all of this life is possible as long as you know what to do, where to go, how to navigate. Like, basically, this dinner for 4 is going to be the same price as, like, your iPhone for the month. Just have a shit phone. Just have a shit phone on SIM only for, like, £5 per month. It doesn't matter. I'd rather have this experience of going to this place, okay, and eating this food, than having, like, an iPhone for X money every single month. £100 per month, £200 per month, or dropping like 1,500 on the new iPhone and then being like, shit, I don't have anything else left. Like, you know, or buying like the new PS5 or whatever for X amount of money. It's like, just enjoy, like, go for the experiences more. It's just so much more important, okay? And like, here's a picture of London, okay? The amount of times I have been in this scenario, walking to work in this rain. Look at this guy here, okay? He's not happy, is he, guys? Like, the rain's just belting his face. Like, he's obviously, no offense to this guy, if anybody knows him, sorry, but he's not in great shape. He's pretty old. He's probably going to a job he fucking hates. You know, his life's probably not the best ever. I imagine he's with a woman he's settled with. You know, it's like, this just doesn't do it for me. This doesn't, like, this guy could be on 200k per year. I don't give a fuck. This looks horrible. Like, even if it was sunny, like, this doesn't look good. Just walking to work and, like, it doesn't do it for me, man. Like, the amount of times I've seen scenes like this where people are just all fucking lined up for the bus or lined up for the tube and it's pissing hard with rain. No one's happy. Look, everyone's face is down. It just doesn't do it for me, man. And this is something I added up earlier, okay? So I actually got that wrong. So 365 days in a year, 156 of them, it rains in London. So every 2.3 days, you're going to experience rain. You know, obviously it doesn't fall in a, like, sequential fashion. But that's what I'm talking about, okay? Another example, okay? This is Santorini. Everybody, I'll tell you what's funny about Santorini. Have you ever seen it from the sea? I don't think I'll be able to, like... I want to get back to this picture, okay? But, like, from here, credit goes to Craig there. Craig Zabransky. Nice name. If you're living up here and you look around, it looks beautiful. This is your view. When you see it from the sea, it looks absolutely dog shit, okay? It's quite funny. You should go and have a look. So you get all these Instagram girls posting pictures from here, and they're, like, broke as fuck. Maybe they're getting the trip paid for, you know, whatever, but, like, OnlyFans. Then you got billionaires in their yacht, and the view that they have to look at is terrible. It's almost ironic. But, like, look how beautiful this place is, okay? It's like living on Mount Olympus in Greece, like the fictional place. It's just ridiculous. Like, you could be up in the clouds right now. You could be a fucking Greek god. And the thing about Santorini is it's very expensive in, like, the summer months, of course, you know, all the way through until, like, second, third week of September, okay? And I calculated, I added it up. It was like second week of September, it was costing £2,479 for a week. So £2,479 for a week in Santorini, okay? And this one place that I found was really, really nice. Now, in October, it's still 21 degrees and sunny pretty much every fucking day. It's beautiful. And for a week at the same place for 2 people, it was £902. And that's 5 weeks later, guys, okay? 5 weeks later. Like, that's absolutely nothing. Like, 5 weeks later, that's all you have to wait, and you save that amount of money, okay? So if you wanted to spend the same amount of money, because, like, $2,479 for a week, if you were earning like $4,000 or $5,000 per month, just isn't sustainable. And that's why this is balling on a budget. But £902 for a week, or let's say £2,500 for 3 weeks, you know, suddenly they're sustainable. And, like, let's say if you were posting to Instagram, people would be like, how the hell is this guy managed to book like 3 weeks in Santorini? Like, how the hell is he doing this? Like, he's always on holiday. He's been there for like a fucking month. Like, how the hell does this bloke have a job to go to? Like, these are the kind of questions that people will ask. But in reality, you're not spending any more than anybody else. It's just because you have freedom. You can go whenever you want. You can go when it's cheaper. You can go when the flights are cheap, when the accommodation's cheap. You know, it's just such a better lifestyle, okay? Now look at this view in London, okay, guys? I actually found the place as well. I went into it. Look at this, 1,550 per calendar month. Because it's in Sloane Square, which is a baller area. It's really nice. There's a lot to do around there. It is a nice area. But you're paying 1,550 per month. Now look at the irony of this. I'll go to it afterwards. But look how shit this place is. Old people's home. I mean, if that's one of your pictures, you're struggling, aren't you, really? Oh, a basin. Nice. Yeah, great. Okay, yeah, great. That's where I'm going to spend my nights. Fantastic. They can't even be bothered to take the pictures the same size. This is awful. Look, it's foldable beds. That's how small the house is. You have to fold the bed. You got this 1920s cabinet. You know, what are we going to play on here? Backgammon? Like, what the fuck is that? And we've got this view, okay? And it's funny because they say here, photo 1, wonderful view over London. Oh, is it, guys? Is that really a wonderful view over London? Is it as beautiful as this? Like, you tell me, guys, right? Where would you rather live? Well, it's that one, of course, right? Now, people are going to say, yeah, that's fine and dandy, but 1,500 per month compared to 3 million, you know, Chris, I'm never going to be able to achieve this. And it's like, guys, in 1,500 and whatever per month, you know, you could live somewhere like this, just probably over the other side, there's probably some houses, you know, that don't have as good a view or whatever, or just down here, there's probably a smaller house that's probably like 300, 400,000 with the exact same view, a pool that's half the size, and it's just not as baller, okay? But then you've got a lot of spare money. You've got a lot of spare money available. Maybe you're renting that place, whatever. Like, but your quality of life is through the roof. Like I said, you can live in a place in London. You can live in a place in the UK or America that costs you absolutely nothing. You don't have an iPhone. You keep your bills low. You don't really, you know, go out in your local town and spend £200 with friends on the weekend to get drunk because you're like, I'd rather get some experiences. You put all of your money from like 18 to 30 into a business. You invest it into property. You invest it into crypto. You invest it into stocks. It pays you back, whatever. And now you've got residual money every single month, or your business just generates, I don't know, like £8,000 per month, okay? Now you've got the freedom, which is the most important thing. And I've always taught you guys this, like, the freedom allows you to live somewhere like this. It allows you to travel around the world at will. It allows you to have more than one house. It allows you to have more than one woman. It allows you to have more than, you know, you're not stuck in one place to go to this one job. It allows you to have more than 2 days off per week. You can have 7. You can just wake up and say, I fancy a week off. You know, I just need a week off. I'm tired. I'm going to go somewhere. Like, balling on a budget isn't that tough. It's like, in winter, you should buy summer clothes. And in summer, you should buy winter clothes. You're going to save like £300, £400. It's like little things like that, okay? So then when winter comes around and people are like, whoa, look at that unbelievable coat you've got. Oh my God, like, that's unbelievable. Like, that looks so good. Your outfits are always so good. How do you afford them? It's like right now I'm looking at prices of weights, because like gym equipment, because if they decide to lock down again in winter, gym equipment's going to go through the roof, okay? It's going to cost a bomb. So I'm looking at it now to try and find some bargains just in case. You know, worst case scenario, I'll sell it again for like the same price. But I'm looking at equipment now and going, should I buy that right now? Because if everything locks down, I'm going to save about £300-400 on buying that equipment. It's just little moves like that, guys. Like, you can really have an unbelievable quality of life on a budget. And you don't even have to like travel around the world. Like, you could quite comfortably live, like I said, somewhere in your local, like somewhere in your country that you live in right now. Everybody knows a place that's not as expensive, okay? Everybody knows a place that, like I said, like Reading is next to London. It's like a fifth of the price, okay? You can live in quite like a modest house there, like a 1-bedroom studio apartment or something. And it's costing you like £500 per month. You're making like £8,000 per month off your business. You don't have like an iPhone. You don't have a commute in the morning, so you're saving on travel costs. You know, you're saving in every single department, and your total bills for the month are like £800, okay? So after tax and whatever, you've got like 4,000, let's say 5,000 to play with. Like, that's what you've got available, 5,000 every single month. Now, you don't even have to travel abroad, but you could be going out for meals every single night. You could be going to rooftop bars. You could be going to restaurants. You could be taking girls out. Like, your quality of life can be through the roof. You could hire a personal trainer. You could have, like I said, the nicest clothes because you're buying them out of season or whatever. And people are going, Jesus Christ, like, this guy is a baller. Like, this guy must be a billionaire. He's balling on a budget. He's got a personal trainer. Every time I see him, he's at the spa. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you could just be doing really relaxing stuff, really nice stuff every single day because you've got the freedom. And to everybody else around you, you look like a millionaire. But in reality, you're just living on a budget. Because you've got the freedom and because you've got the knowledge of, like, how to actually spend it, it's just far easier for you. And this is, like, I know it's the strangest video I'll probably ever make, guys. And I doubt most people have made it to the end. But if you have, and this, like, kind of shit inspires you, and you see, like, I haven't really planned this video out. I just made it on the spur of the moment. Right now, I mean, I'm, like, made notes. I'm, like, jotted things down and, like, had a structure. I've just kind of just, like, done this in one take on a whim. Like, I couldn't really care about, like, the structure. It's about more, like, the inspiration and the motivation. But I hope, like, some of you guys are just, like, clicking as to what I'm trying to say. Is, like, the message I said at the start about the status quo, about, like, changing what your thoughts are on life. Like, you have to do this. You have to live in one place. You have to take one holiday per year, and it has to be in summer. Like, this is how previous generations lived. But what's stopping you jumping on a flight in December and going to a holiday destination at Christmas? Oh, but I need to be with my family. Everyone's going to be pissed off. No, like, you could go to, like, Dubai in December, okay, for Christmas. And flights are cheaper because nobody's flying to Dubai for Christmas. Everybody's flying there for, like, the months either side of that, or they're going there in, like, early spring when it's not too hot yet. So you end up getting a killer deal. And you fly there for, like, £100. And then you go to that place that I told you about just down the road. Forgot the name of it now. Where is it? I've got it on my sheet. Sharjah. So you go there, and then it's 24 minutes into Dubai. Okay, so for £100, you fly into Sharjah. Obviously, I'm saying this wrong, but it is what it is. And then a £15 taxi fare, and you're in Dubai, you know, at Christmas, and you're sat at a nice restaurant in 25-degree heat. You're sat there with your shorts on, a nice shirt. You know, and it's just like the quality of your life could be 10 times better than, like, what people make it. Like, people literally live to suffer. They go to a job that they hate. They do it 5 days a week. Gets to the weekend, they're too tired to do anything. They haven't seen sunlight in, like, you know, even if you live somewhere warm, if you're in an office all day, you're just not catching that sun. You're just not out doing what you want to do. You're not, you know, you're sat down all day. It's just like our quality of life and the way that we live is just terrible. You know, having one woman for the rest of your life and then being miserable. Having kids at, like, 25 and then being broke for the rest of your life because you're trying to fund this shit. Like, each kid is $250,000. That's how much it's going to cost you for 18 years. Now, yeah, spread over 18 years, but that money's pretty much signed off the second you have that child. The second you conceive that child, that money's pretty much signed off in a contract. So if you end up having 2 or 3, you're looking at, like, 500,000, 750,000 sewn up. With inflation, it might be closer to $1 million by the time you're done. You know, like, these are all things you've got to think about when it comes to, like, your quality of life. Like, what can you, like, are you enjoying life or are you just paying bills? Because I've been in both situations where I've enjoyed and I've paid bills. It's complete worlds apart, guys, okay? And, like, you, like I said, you can earn, like, 200,000-300,000 per year in a baller job, and you pay your bills with ease, etc., and your life is good, and you do book 1 or 2 baller holidays per year because you get 20 days off per year. But that's not a quality of life, guys. There's no freedom in that. That's like, you're spending a lot of money, you don't have a lot of time, you're stressed up to the eyeballs, you don't really enjoy your life. Like, for me, that doesn't do it. And like I'm saying, the message I want to leave you guys with is to, number 1, change the status quo, question everything. But number 2 is, you'd be very surprised. Like, obviously, I've given you a lot of examples here, but you'd be very surprised how well you can live for less. And like I said, it's not about this at all. It's not about trying to impress others. But if one of you were to live this life, and then you posted all of it to Instagram and you said, hey, Chris, check out my life. And I scrolled through it and you've done everything that I've just outlaid today, I'd be like, damn, this guy's a multi-millionaire. I'd be like, you're living good, man. Like, what do you do for work? How much do you earn? Like, I'd be intrigued. And then if you were like, oh, 4,000 per month, I'd be like, Jesus Christ, you've got to be kidding me. This guy's absolutely killing it in life. And I'll tell you what's crazy as well, guys, is I like broke down like everything that I spoke about here, like going to the rooftop bar, the trip to Milan, Venice, etc. Like all this just fucking mystical shit that I've told you about today. Like I said, it's a weird video. I don't really care. I just find sometimes when I express myself like this and I just talk shit, people seem to just love it, and it's just so different to anything else on YouTube, and it really expresses like my personality. I'm a dreamer, that's what I am. I'm a fucking visionary. I love the visuals. I dream. I picture things like this. I think about weird shit. Okay, I look at a map and I plot fucking routes. So that's how I come up with like a streaming platform and multiple shows and like road trip ideas for a show. Like, it's just part of me, and I think that's why so many people have like subscribed to this channel, because there's nothing else like this on the internet. And I like added up like the summer clothes in winter. I added up like the whole of January going out for meals. I added up like the house and the boat in Montenegro. I added up like the trip and the fuel and everything, the spending money and like the trips to Dubai and whatever. And I realized everything that I'm showing you guys in this video, right? It's 5 holidays totaling 100 days. Think about that, guys. That's 3 months and 10 days that you're going to be holidaying for. That's absolutely crazy. You're having 5 holidays per year, and it's 100 days of your year. So the 150 odd days in the UK where it rains, like the majority of those you can get away for. You can get away, you can fly away, you can go and enjoy yourself. You know, you pick the rainiest months, all you're going to see is sun pretty much all year round. And that's going to cost you about 15k for the year. And that's including spending money and travel and everything. And that's for 2 people. That's how I added it up, like paying for their flights, etc. as well. You know, if you really want to like feel like a baller, which could be a beautiful woman, 15k, guys. It's absolutely peanuts. Now, it's quite a lot to spend on travel, yeah, but you know, 15k for 100 days of travel. 5 holidays for that year. Guys, that's absolutely insane. And there's cheaper places than this. I'm literally just showing you like kind of semi-baller places. Like you can go to Dubai, Dubrovnik, you know, Milan, Venice. Like I'm showing you Santorini. Like I'm showing you some of the most baller places in the world. You can go to like fucking Palma, you know, the island. I think it might be the island just off Mallorca. Like you can go there, like I said, for like £100 for like 3-4 days. Like there's places out there that are so cheap. There might be places in, I don't know, like Mexico that you could probably go to, which look really good. And like Americans know that it's like £200 for a week. Like there's so many places like this you can go to. If you prefer cold places, you can go there. You can have city breaks for cheap. When it's out of season, like if you actually navigate a lot of this shit, you can literally live like a fucking multi-millionaire on a budget of like 4,000 per month if you have the freedom. Now, like I said, the house and the yacht, like this is crazy, right? I'm talking about a house and a yacht, and I'm saying that you don't even need to be a millionaire. And it's like this baller 3-bedroom house with a pool, a terrace rooftop, views of the bay. Like it's insane, which was the place that I showed you earlier. Was 665,000. Okay, so that house plus the holidays, 665,000. Okay. Now, I came up with the figure that like 80,000 per year, this life is sustainable. Like once you've bought that house, once you've bought that yacht, whatever, it's only going to cost you like 15 grand to travel to all those different places. Now you might have a few bills at home. Maybe you've paid that house off in full. Maybe you didn't get the yacht and you just paid the house off in full. You know, and you just got a real cheap boat or something, or you just paddle out on a fucking surfboard. Still better than walking to work in the rain, okay, for a boss you hate. But it's like 80 grand per year. It's like sustainable to like live that entire life that I showed you guys. Like driving down the Dalmatian coast in like a Panamera or something that's like a long distance type of car that can do a lot of mileage with 3 beautiful women in there with you, and you go to Venice, then you go to Milan, and then you have, you know, a meal at the rooftop bar. Like all of this is plausible if you just change the status quo and you just move your money around. What do you want? Do you want a £100 iPhone every single month on a contract? Or do you want to spend that £100 on, you know, meals out or travel or whatever? Like it's so sustainable. You know, do you want to sit in an office all day looking out the window, watching it rain and getting shouted at by your boss, and you're stressed up to the eyeballs and your bills are through the roof? Like, for example, me in London, okay, I was paying like £80 a month for my gym membership. I was paying £136 per month for travel. I was paying £1,408 per month rent. On top of that, I had my own bills and etc. Everything that I had for the business, whatever, which wasn't a lot, but it's on top of that. And then you got to pay for food, and then you had council tax, you had electric, you had water rates, you had, you know, all the other shit that came fucking with it. And collectively, it ends up being like £3,200 per month going out of the door. You know, it's just like, this is shit, like just on bills alone. But with like shopping and everything, it's like closer to like £4,000 a month going out of the door. Now, if you want to enjoy yourself, it's going to end up being like 5, 6. That's why I always say you need like 10 grand a month to live in London and actually enjoy it. And when you add all of that up, you go, oh my God, like if I can just find a way, and I've said this a million times to you guys before, everyone wants to be a billionaire business owner. Everyone wants to be a baller. And look, guys, if you can accomplish that, great, like tick those boxes. But just know there's an alternative way to really enjoy yourself. And don't get me wrong, you're still going to have to put in like 10 years of hard work. And it might be from like 18 to 28, 18 to 30, whatever, you really go for it. But once you've set yourself up, even if that residual money, like I said, is just 5, 8 grand, like let's say it's £5,000 per month. That's an unbelievable life, guys. You know, you could travel, you can have like days off, you can go wherever you want to go. You can, like, I remember in the early days when we went to Toronto, like me and my 2 business partners at the time, every single day was just amazing. Like, you'd wake up and you'd be like, we can go to that rooftop bar tonight. Like, we're going to sit there and we're just going to talk business and we're going to get motivated. We're going to gas ourselves up. Then on the way back, we're going to grab a pizza. It's 3 a.m. That's okay. If I'm tired in the morning, I'll just have an extra 2 hours of sleep. You know, I can go to the gym later. I can go at 2 o'clock when it's empty because I don't have a job. Like, this is what's so great about living this kind of like I said, baller on a budget, okay? This is the thing that people forget. This is what really excites me, okay, about the freedom. Is, let's say you did have, and I keep saying Instagram, which I don't care about, but it's a very good way to quantify things because a lot of people have seen this on the internet. But let's say you don't have that house. Let's say you don't have that yacht. Let's say you don't go on any of these trips or whatever. Let's say you do just live in one place, okay, in quite a nice house. Well, there's a lot of things that a lot of people can't do. Like if you were posting pictures of you being at the gym at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or 10, let's say 10, because everybody's at a job at 10, right? People would be like, what do you do for work? You know, what? Like, how are you able to have that much free time? And you're training with your personal trainer because you got the money to do it. And then if it's like 2 o'clock and you're like posting a picture of you or a video of you like working from a cafe, people are going to be like, what the hell, man? I love that cafe. Or like, it's a rooftop bar on a sunny day and you're just working from your laptop with a beautiful view. And you're like, today's view. And people are like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sat in my office behind this desk. Like, and none of this is like expensive. Like, I'm not saying any of this is like the car, the yacht, the house, etc. But it's all freedom. Like, it's access to a better life. Like, this is the point that I'm making, guys. You know, or you're at the, like, here's where it gets like very niche. Is like you're at the organic fucking fruit shop and you're like buying coconuts and pineapples and kiwis and like you're buying just like fresh fruit and fresh food and whatever, and you're like walking home at like 3 p.m. and you're just like kind of putting it out on your Instagram stories, and you go home, you cook it all up and you sit there and you eat this fruit and you're in great shape because you've got the personal trainer, and then you're like right off to the spa and it's like 4:30 and someone else watching this from their workplace like sat on the fucking toilet, you know, trying to get away from their desk for 10 minutes. It's just like, what the hell? What am I doing wrong? And they're not doing anything wrong. This is the thing. They're earning 2, 3, 4 times more money than you. Like they're actually balling out of control, but they're not allowed to use it. It's like having a really fast car with a limiter on, which says you can only go to 50, 60 miles per hour. It's like I said earlier about the footballers. A lot of footballers earn like 200,000 per week. They can't really spend it. They can't really enjoy it. Like there's not a lot of places they can go. Like imagine playing for Man United, living in Manchester, which is still a lovely place, and earning like $250,000 per week. And you're like, well, I can't really do too much. Like I can go to a few places in Manchester, there's a few nice restaurants and whatever, but it's not like you can pop down to the beach. It's not like you can just get on a flight and go somewhere. It's not like you can just turn up at the Manchester racetrack. Do you know what I mean? And just burn your car around. Like you can't exactly like take a trip across Europe to the Nuremberg and just burn your car around there. Like they've got responsibilities. They've got contractual agreements where they have to be, or contractual obligations where they have to be in one place at one time. This is the secret of life. Like the secret of being happy and enjoying life is being able to go and train with your personal trainer at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. All this other baller shit that I've shown you today, like this is the point of the video, is balling on a budget. I'm just showing you it's possible you can do it. But there's a lot more that you can do for cheap. There's a lot more that you can do for cheap. Like it's not even about the holidays, the car, the yacht, the houses and the balconies and whatever. Like all of this shit is a bonus as well. But it's about the freedom to be able to take a week off. It's the freedom to be able to go to an event and not have to ask your boss for the night off or, the day off or whatever. Like that is way more important. And if you can set yourself up with a good life setup, balling on a budget is effortless. And like I said, it's not about this at all. But if you showed people this sort of life and you documented it on Instagram, everybody would think you're a multi-millionaire. And that's why, because you are living a multi-millionaire lifestyle. You're just doing it in a smart manner. Like, what's the point in buying a brand new car? Get one that's secondhand. Get one that's got like 10,000 miles on and you can get it for like a fifth of the price. Like, why not do things like this? Now, if I encourage you guys to become successful enough to not have to compromise, but if you do want to live a quality life, it's there. It's there for the taking. It just takes a little bit of arranging, like a Rubik's Cube, a little bit of navigation. And like I said, you don't need much more than 4,000 or 5,000 per month coming in, and you can appear to live the life of a millionaire. But here's the great thing, is you're the one living it. So you are actually living the life of a millionaire. You're just not spending millionaire money.
If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio.